जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा।
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
विभवरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा छड़ी उठो जीवा विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेशा निद्रा छड़ी उठो जीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा नरसिंह वामन श्रीमधुसूदन ब्रजेन्द्र नंदन श्यामा पूतन घातन कैतव शातन जय दशरथी राम विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेशा निद्रा छड़ी उठो जीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा यशोद दूलाला गोविंद गोपाल वृंदावना पुरंधारा गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमन भुवन सुंदर बारा रान अंतकर मखन तस्कर गोपी जना वस्त्रहारी ब्रजेर राखल गोपा वृंदापल चित्तहरि बंशीधारी योगेंद्र बंदन श्रीनंद नंदन ब्रज जना भयहारी नवीन नीरदा रूप मनोहर मोहन बंसी बिहारी यशोदनंदन कंसनिसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी यशोदनंदन कंसनिसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी कादंब कानन रास प्ररायण बृंदा विपिन निवासी कादंब कानन रास परायण बृंदा विपिन निवासी आनंदवर्धन प्रेम निकेतन फूलसराज जकामा गोपांग गानन चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुण गण धामा जमुना जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोरा नामरस नाम सुधारस गावो कृष्णा जसा राखो वचन मन मोरा नाम सुधारस गावो कृष्णा जसा राखो वचन मन मोरा विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेशा निद्रा छड़ी उठो जीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हय ग्रीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. So last week, what did we discuss? Anybody recollects? So the chapter name was, the session name was Discover Your Real Eternal Love, which will fulfill the ever longing of the heart. So your soul is always asking for this eternal love. But again, some of that, most of the time, we are attracted with so many other things rather than getting attracted to the real thing. So the attraction principle is what we have discussed last week, right? And what was the attraction principle? We get attracted to so many things. A beautiful thing that you see outside in the material world could be a cine star, or it could be the attraction that you have towards your loved ones, or it could be an attraction towards some gulab jamun. And not only human beings, other living entities also get attracted, like ants get attracted towards the sugar or any other eating particle. At the same time, magnets get attracted towards iron. So this is the natural attraction principle is there, right? So we get attracted to so many things in this world, and one of the primary reasons why we get attracted to this is also revealed in the last class. Can somebody remember? What is the primary reason why we get attracted towards any of these things?
To become happy.
To become happy, yes, definitely. And why we get attracted? Because some things are beautiful. Some things are like, if suppose somebody is very strong, so you get attracted to him or her. And if suppose somebody is wealthy, you get attracted to him or her, right? And why? Because the attraction is, it is the attraction, you might feel that this attraction is a physical phenomena, but actually deep inside, if you see, we get attracted because our soul wanted to get attracted, and it actually wanted to get attracted to the principle which is behind that. And the principle is that if something is beautiful, you get attracted. If something is wealthy, you get attracted. So many things. And the Supreme Lord is supremely attractive. We have seen that. And why is he supremely attractive? Because he has unlimited quantity of all these 6 opulences that we see in this material world, right? I'm sorry, is this getting understood, or am I getting communicated properly? Is right? So we get
Yes, Prabhuji, we have attended the last session, no? So we are able to connect what that is.
Okay, so we get attracted to the beauty, wealth, knowledge, fame, strength, and renunciation. And we have seen that as per the definition of Parasar Muni, Bhagavan is one who is in full in all the 6 opulences. So it is but very natural for us to get attracted to Krishna. But because of the perverted reflection that we see in this material world, we get diverted and get attracted to these material things, which only gives you temporary happiness, not permanent happiness, right? So I think that is what we discussed. Anything else that anybody wants to communicate what we discussed last class? Anything else? We also talked about the soul being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, possesses similar characteristics of the God, but in minute quantities, right? So we do not have the infinite quantity, but we have, so we are also beautiful, we are also wealthy, we also have some knowledge, we also got some fame and strength and renunciation, but not in that proportion what Supreme Lord has got. And last time we remember that the example given,
we discussed opulence, Prabhuji. We
these
discussed
are the,
opulence.
Yeah, these are the 6
Yeah.
opulences that we have. Be compared with an example of ocean water compared with a glass of water that we have. So quantitatively they are different, but qualitatively they are same. So this is the comparison between the individual soul and the Supreme Lord. So that is also what we have discussed, right? What else did we discuss? Yeah, and we discussed that in Bhagavad Gita also. It was whenever Krishna was speaking, it was referred as Bhagavan, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, and in Srimad Bhagavatam also it has been referenced as that. One who possesses. Bhagavan means one who, Bhag means opulence, Van means person, one who possesses, and he possesses all this in infinite quantity. Okay, so let me share my screen then, and we'll go to the next module. Okay. So the 6 opulence of the Supreme Lord that we have seen: beauty, wealth, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. We have seen that. So now we wanted to see in this module who we are and who is the Supreme Lord. Actually, the Supreme Lord is the boss and we are the das, the soul. Now, if you see, most of the time, not most of the time, whenever you get initiated in ISKCON, the way that the names are given is like they end with a name called Das, Purandar Das, or Yashoda, Srimati Yashoda Devi Dasi, like that. So the names are also going to tell you that what is your real position in this world, or how you should really act in this world. So you are a Das, and who is the Lord? If you are a Das, there should be somebody whom you can serve to, and that is where we will understand that who is the boss and who is the Das. The service to Supreme Lord. So now basically Vaikunta is a place where there is no misery. We know that. Vaikunta. Kunta means misery, and Vaikunta means a place where there is no misery. God is the Supreme Person and all are his servants. So that is how Vaikunta is, and the central theme is that all the jivas, all of us are looking how I can serve the Supreme Lord. That is our primary duty, and that is our aim and goal in our life. So that is how it would be being in Vaikunta, and which will also tell you what is your real eternal position. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely stop me there. God is the Supreme Person and all the souls are his eternal servants. Any doubts so far, or am I going just without much explanation, logic? Please correct me. Or if you have any doubts, please stop me. Okay. Now, service to the Supreme Lord. Plural subordinates get nourished by serving the single Supreme. See, if you see in our mundane world also, material world also, children go to school and they have to follow the rules given by the principal. Okay, they go to the school on time because that is set by the principal. They attend exams or tests. Then the principal will arrange for their degree certificates and further trainings, right? And children have one role to play and the principal have another role to play. So both are not the same. In that sense also, principal role and student's role are not the same. Similarly, the Supreme Lord's role is different, and these people who are serving the Supreme Lord, subordinates, have a different role. So never there would be a time when we become the Supreme Lord. So that is out of question. Okay. So there are so many Mayavadis who may say that there is no difference between you and Supreme Lord. Today you may not be Supreme Lord, or you may not be God, but after some time, when you do certain activities, you will become the Lord, or you will become God. That is all not correct, and that is not as per the Shastra. Neither it would be any time in future. Okay, so that is how we need to take this. Okay, so these are the examples of the students that just now we discussed. They follow the rules set by the principal, right? And they receive education, training, and degrees because of following the rules, right? They say that disciple also means that in one way who has the discipline to follow what is set by the authority. So that is what is disciple means, and discipline also comes from the same root word. And similarly, employees follow and serve the plans of the CEO of the company. And they receive what? Salary, perks, and facilities. And citizens also align with the laws made by the prime minister or the head of the country, right? And they receive social facilities, welfare activities, all those things, right? All the souls are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and their job is to serve the Supreme Lord. We are all jivas, and our role is to serve the Supreme Lord. And it is said that nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. So basically what it means to say that our role is to serve the Supreme Lord, and God is eternal, we are also eternal. God is conscious and we are also conscious. God is one and we are many. So that's very important. The Supreme Lord is only one. A lot of people have the opinion that Supreme Lord, how can he be one? And especially you need to understand from the culture in which we come. We have so many so-called the demigods. They are not actually Supreme Lord, because to the lack of any other name, we might call them as gods, but actually they are demigods. Demi, not dummy, demigods. That means like we have like Ganesha, Shiva, we have Brahma, and all these Parvati Devi, all these are demigods, Durga Devi. So now the comparison is like you have a prime minister of the country, and underneath them there are so many portfolios are there underneath the prime minister, who is overseeing, like irrigation minister, roads and transportation minister, communication and broadcasting, and home, and all these are different portfolios, and each portfolio is assigned to one demigod. Like in the sense, if you see the entire universe, there must be one demigod who is responsible for rains. So the Varuna is the one demigod who is given that responsibility. And again, understand that similarly Indra, who is also kind of head of the demigods in one way, and Agni Deva. So like that, all these demigods are there. Now, but again, they obey the orders of the Supreme Lord, who is the Prime Minister in the context that we are talking about portfolios. Okay, so hope that makes sense and clarifies why we have so many demigods, because there are so many portfolios and somebody has to take the responsibility of doing things on time. So that is where all these demigods are there. Please understand one more thing. these are all positions, not basically they are not the actual persons. What I mean to say is that Brahma is a position, he is not a person. That means now we say home minister. Right now home minister is Amit Shah. Earlier to that somebody else was there. So home ministry is what we are talking about, and that can be taken or given opportunity to anybody. See, the next Brahma, they say that as per the timeline, next Brahma will be who? Who will be the next Brahma? Anybody knows?
Hanuman.
Hanumanji will be the next Brahma. See, most of the time we see that Indra is always afraid about his position and he wants to do so many things, because if that eligibility criteria is met, the person, you can take up to any of these demigod positions. So that is what it is told. Okay. So basically what we need to do is that our role is to align ourselves with the laws of the laws what the Supreme Lord has said to us, and what are some of the laws that he has said to us, so that we can align to his plans of the Supreme Lord, as given in Bhagavad Gita. Also, we need to follow the 4 regulative principles. What are the 4 regulative principles? Basically, no meat eating. You could eat some grains, fruits, cereals, milk. Not necessarily you are not supposed to hurt any animals or things like that, because one of the things that you lose when you start eating this non-vegetarian food is you lose this mercy part. The mercy that you should have, which is one of the qualities that you need to cultivate, will be lost, and that is the reason why you should stop eating meat. Okay. And nowadays a lot of people, and these advertisements keep coming, roj khao ande, this some a lot of, at least when I was watching TV long time back, they used to advertise in TVs. Now I don't know, from National Egg Corporation or something. Roj khao ande, something they used to tell.
Sunday ho ya Monday.
Nice slogan, nicely they cultivated. Sunday or Monday, roj khao ande. So these are all tactics. They say that nowadays a lot of people say that vegetarian. Eggs are not non-vegetarian, they are vegetarian only, vegetarian. So that is what they are saying. And a lot of my, unfortunately, there are so many Brahmin friends of mine, they also believe all this. They are saying that what is wrong? And there are people who are also, I don't want to go into that, but again, point is that these are the laws laid by the Supreme Lord. So we should align to that. Then, so what is going to happen is that you will be coming into the sattva mode. There are, you know that, right? There are different modes. So modes of nature. And instead of being in tamasic mode, where you are there by eating this non-vegetarian food, things like that, or very spicy kind of a thing, which is in rajasic. And sattvic mode is what you get. Jaisa anna, vaisa man, they say. So Brahmanas means that they are taking care of their upper portion part very nicely, because they Bhagavad Gita also talks about, compares these different varnas based on this, comparing with the human body. The head part is basically Brahmana part, where you are doing some planning, thinking, etc., etc. And patan is their main duty. Those who are using their advising people, doing some professional activities, leading people, things like that. The Bhuja is basically Kshatriyas. So they wanted to defend people, they wanted to fight against the enemies, etc., etc. Bhuja. And the working class people are the Shudra class, which they, and again, if you see in this also, the Kshatriyas have to follow the orders given or the based on the analysis what the Brahmanas have done, or the some of the people who are taking care of that, who are primarily focused on giving you advice. Now, if you see in our entire history, whether it is Ramayana or Mahabharata or wherever, the Kshatriyas always used to have their Kula Gurus. And these people are Brahmanas who used to advise them. And they used to follow that. Rama has done the same. And if you see in Mahabharata also, there you have that kind of a scenario only. Because the kings used to follow the advice of the Brahmanas, and the Shudras used to serve their masters in whatever capacity they have. So that's how it is. It is not based on some category saying that we are suppressing based on caste and things like that. Okay. See, actually, these Britishers have really basically they have interpreted in a wrong way and made the divide and rule. They said that you people, whatever is said in Vedas, are discriminatory, and you are having this kind of a divide among yourself. That is wrong. Actually, the word jati, what we call now caste system, the jati has come. Actually, there was no jati. It was the root word, and the actual word was gnati. Gnati means what do you know? Gnati. So whenever somebody used to come up that I wanted to see, you need to do some activity, right? You need to do some service, because that by nature, that is what you are. You cannot be sitting idle. Anybody for that matter cannot sit idle. You have to serve. And serving means you need to know something. And that is what anybody used to come, and then somebody comes, they used to ask, Gnati, kya jante ho aap? What do you know? Gnati. So then you used to say that, no, I am interested in, I know this making pottery, or I know how to fight. I am very skilled in archery. So these are the things that so based on that, they used to get the service. Now that Gnati has come into, because of this perverted way of taking things, that became Jati. So actually there is nothing called Jati per se. It was Gnati which was made into Jati, because that is how we were. Okay, so now we took a detour. So when you start eating this non-vegetarian food, the mercy part which is there in you will be lost. Okay, when you take up to this intoxication, we say that don't drink alcohol or take drugs or smoke. Basically, intoxication means some austerity should be there in your life. If you do not follow some austerity or don't do some austerities, then what are you then? So the determination part and the austerity part is also very important. So we should always say no to intoxication. And the third is that gambling. So don't try to get money by shortcut by cheating others, because all this gambling, you see that in US, big gambling casinos are there. So if you go to what is that biggest place in US? Somebody might be knowing. Yes. What is that?
Las Vegas.
The casinos in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas, we have so many, but I was in Seattle, and Seattle also there were so many gambling, these kind of things happening there also. But this Las Vegas is meant for only this, only meant for gambling and illicit sex. The next one, when you accept only, you are with your only with one wife and treat all women as mothers, no sex outside the marriage or before marriage, so no illicit sex. So what is that? When you don't follow this, the cleanliness part is missing, or you cannot cultivate the cleanliness. So when you follow these four regulative principles of no illicit sex, when you indulge in that, cleanliness is lost. When you indulge in gambling, truthfulness is lost. When you take up to intoxication, austerity is lost. When you take up to meat eating, merciness, which is what is required, is lost. So that is the reason why one should follow these four regulative principles and be more aligned with the rules that are being framed or given by the Supreme Lord. Okay. Any doubts so far? Anybody has? Anybody? So what will happen when you follow this? Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah,
Prabhuji, gambling is allowed for Kshatriya, like as per Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharat. So how do we justify that?
Okay. Actually, gambling for Kshatriyas is a sport. And that sport, because Kshatriyas cannot say no to a challenge. So it is not considered to be a gambling. See, when I go to a casino, why am I going to a casino? I am going to a casino because without trying much, I wanted to get a lot of money. Very in a shortcut way, by whatever way. And the gambling also includes saying that by cheating, I wanted to make a lot of money and in a shortcut way. But actually, Kshatriyas, when as one of the quality of a Kshatriya is that when somebody asks you to come and whether it is a sport or a fight, you cannot say no. Because by nature, Kshatriya is supposed to be like that. Yeah, with the gambling, what has happened in Mahabharata, that is not to be set as an example. But again, yeah. But that there also, if you ask whether Yudhishthira did the right thing, yes. When somebody calls for a match on an equal, without any cheating involved there, then you can go and play it. It's because Kshatriya cannot say no. If somebody, what do you say, comes and says that, can you play this sport with me? It's a challenge. So that challenge you have to take. So that's my understanding, Mataji. Anybody has anything to add to that or anything? Mataji, is that okay with you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so why does Krishna put so many this kind of a rules then? He should have just left us saying that just follow whatever you want. Why so many rules? Is there any? It's kind of a demand from the Supreme Lord, right? Why does God demand this? For what? What is the reason? Yeah, anything that you think? Yeah. Yes, please. My question was that why is the Supreme Lord saying that you have to follow these four regulative principles? What is wrong, and why should you put such stringent laws saying that you need to follow? What is your take on it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe the austerity will make us to not have the less greed and envy, and becoming more truthful and becoming more clean. We will focus much on our path back to Goloka, and the these all four things will ultimately lead us to reaching to the Lord, Prabhuji, like austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness. So Maybe my understanding that.
Very nice. Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, Nutan Mataji, you had something to say?
To maintain peace and harmony, I felt.
Okay. Any other inputs from any other devotees? Why?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
These all will keep us in Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is required to know Krishna, and we have to hear about Krishna. In Sattva Guna only we can relish his names, and we can follow the stories and all.
Very nice. Any other inputs anybody has? So basically, most of the time when we, yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Ramesh Prabhu. Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Austerity helps us to develop focus and fine-tune our senses, mind, and memory, which is necessary to align to the God, like that.
Okay, what all you said is correct. Each one of you have given right inputs. So basically, when you follow these 4 regulative principles, you are acting for the Supreme Lord's pleasure. So most of the time we are doing activities which are self-centered. I wanted to enjoy. This I mentality will slowly get removed from our nature, and we will be focusing and trying to see how we can act such a way that the Supreme Lord's pleasure is more important for us, and how do I serve him better? How do I act on his behalf? That is what is the ideal characteristic of an ideal student or an ideal person. So now you see, I'll give you an example. There was a South Indian Brahmana when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going on a South Indian tour. He saw that one person was reading Bhagavad Gita, but again he was reading Bhagavad Gita, but again crying. And he was crying because, and a lot of people are also laughing. The Brahmanas, rest of the Brahmanas were laughing because he was not able to read it properly, and but again crying. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and asked, Brahmana, why are you crying? Then he showed the Bhagavad Gita book and said that by order of my spiritual master, I am reading it, but I am not very proficient in reading. So yes, because I am not able to read properly, one thing is that that is there. But since my orders were there, I am doing it. But then he asked, why are you crying? Then he said, he showed the Bhagavad Gita in front of him, where you see that Bhagavad Gita most of the time, right? Where Krishna is the charioteer and Arjuna is the person who is driving. And now he was crying because Supreme Lord, being supreme, he has taken a menial role of becoming a driver for his devotee. So how merciful he is, how magnanimous he is, the Supreme Lord, and taking such menial position, he was just crying out of that what do you say, that thought which came to him, saying that Supreme Lord is so merciful. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are the person who understood and qualified to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, because your thought process is what is very important, and you have the right kind of a thought process. And what is the first thought process here? First, he was following the order of his spiritual master. That means he's obeying somebody who is above, right? So that is very important in our life also. Most of the time, just align this with the I concept, the attachment that we have. So most of the time we wanted to do because we wanted to do it and you wanted to enjoy it. Not by the orders of the Supreme Lord, not for his enjoyment, but we are doing it for our own enjoyment. So that self-centered nature should be turned around, and we need to be focused to give pleasure to the Supreme Lord. And that is what we need to understand. And this Brahmana, South Indian Brahmana, was following the orders of his spiritual master. Second thing is that he also understood who is the Supreme Lord and what is his position. And with that, he will definitely get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So because we are all supposed to have that kind of a mindset when we are reading Bhagavad Gita or attending these classes. And slowly, gradually, if your eye is decreasing and you are focusing on how I can give pleasure to the Supreme Lord, slowly and steadily, it may take some time, maybe lifetimes together, but again, that is our ultimate goal. Acting for the Supreme Lord's pleasure and acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Now, if you see Arjuna, when he has started, like when he was in that battlefield, initially he is given so many arguments saying that why I should wage this war, what is that I am going to get, and all these 4 reasons he has given. Why, what will happen if I indulge in this war, ghastly warfare? All the relatives will die. I'll be getting sinful reactions because I'm killing these people, and all the men will be gone out, and if they die, women will get polluted, progeny will be affected, and Varna Sankara will happen. All these arguments he was giving. But again, the platform on which he was giving is on the material platform, and it was more towards the material platform where he is also part of that. Now, when you talk in terms of the spiritual platform, and you are aligning with the spiritual laws that Krishna has given us to follow. So that will really give us the eternal happiness versus the material happiness that we are thinking about. Okay. So a lot of people may say that why am I coming and attending these Bhagavad Gita classes? Because it will give me happiness. But that me happiness, if it is giving you the spiritual happiness, and that spiritual happiness will come when you follow the rules what Krishna has given you. But if you are still following, thinking that it will give you material happiness, that is not what you will be really getting benefit out of these classes. Slowly, when you follow the rules and regulations what Krishna has given us, and it starts with following these 4 regulative principles, and also our mindset will slowly start changing from I-centered to Krishna-centered. Instead of loving this skin, you will be loving the Supreme Lord. So, hope I got diverted, but is it making sense, Mataji's, Prabhuji's? And one of the reasons why we are suffering in this material world is because of this. Why am I suffering? Because I am not aligning with the laws what Krishna has given us. So once you start aligning yourself to the laws what Krishna has given us, then you will really experience that love that we are all looking for. Okay. Okay, so this is one quiz that I'll send it to you in the what do you say, in the WhatsApp group. So make 2 tables, one with the heading demoniac and the other is divine, and the list at least 5 qualities of those 2 classes that you can think of. Can you think about some divine qualities and some demoniac qualities? Yes, very quickly. Can you think?
Compassion, greedy.
Okay, from the divine perspective or demoniac perspective?
Divine, compassion,
Okay.
demoniac, greedy.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any other devotee wanted to say? Divine and demoniac, one quality.
Divine purity,
Mm-hmm.
demoniac anger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one last. Any other devotee? Divine and
Prabhuji, divine quality would be helping nature, and demoniac would be jealousy.
Okay. Very nice. I'll tell you one past Puranic pastime of there was a Sura Asura feast. Sura Asura, opposite, divine and demoniac. There was a feast, and Asuras went to Brahma and asked, who is great? Is Devatas great or Asuras great? Brahma thought, I'll tell you after some time, because if I tell you now, you'll become angry. So he said, next week I'll tell you. So like that was the pastime. And then in the big festival, the prasadam was being distributed. But at the entrance itself, they were registering these candidates. And what they did is that they tied a bamboo stick like this, a bamboo stick in between their hands. And that was the, can you mute Mataji's? Whosoever is.
Want to type the
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, so the bamboo stick was tied to all the Asuras and Suras, the Devatas and the demoniac people. So they entered and prasadam was served. Nice gulab jamuns and papad and rice, chapatis, so many things. Now the demonic people, when the plate was there, they wanted to eat it, but both the hands were tied. They can just pick it up, but they cannot put it in the mouth because the bamboo stick was tied. Now what they could do is that they could just throw it on their face like this. That is all they can do.
Class at all. You were always stacking behind.
Okay. Now, okay, now so what happened is that these demons came outside and started complaining the organizer, what kind of a thing you did? Their faces were all with all dal, rice, because they were just putting like this and trying to eat. And now in the other side, the Devatas side, they were both in different groups. The Devata side, their hands were tied, so they cannot get it near to their mouth. So they were feeding the other person. The other person was feeding them. So like that. So you understand what I'm saying? So now, one of the qualities that you should develop is that how I can serve the Supreme Lord. And serving the Supreme Lord also means that how am I serving my superior authority in whatever. Now, if you see Srila Prabhupada example, he never did it just because he wants to get name, fame, and recognition. He did it because his entire ISKCON organization and spreading out all this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, Bhagavatam knowledge to all around the world is because on the orders of his spiritual master he did it. So that is what, how I can satisfy my superiors or senior Vaishnavas, how I can serve them. That attitude should come in. And if that attitude is coming, that means you are having divine qualities. This example, what we have seen, the Sura Asura feast. So the demoniac people are always thinking that how I can defeat the other person, how I can be shown that I am great, others are dumb. This is not actually the divine qualities. The divine qualities is that how do I become a team player? How do I serve the other person? Now I did couple of lectures in other IT companies where there is something called servant leadership attitude. I don't know whether anybody attended, or nowadays when we do PMP, project management professional training, which I am a PMP certified that time. So there is a module which is there, which is talking about servant leadership attitude. Very important, right? So are you familiar, anybody, servant leadership trainings that are going on in the IT companies and non other companies also? No? Okay. If anybody wants in their company, let me know. I can come and do some couple of seminars on service leadership, how we should have and how this attitude of service leadership will really give transform your organization, the way you look at things. most of the time the boss is there trying to dictate to the subordinate, saying that do this, do that, do this, do that. If you don't do this, I'll fire you. All this kind of thing. That attitude is not going to work out. And definitely in the people where you have intellectual mindset, or where you are doing things not with your hands and legs, but with your brain, then that attitude will not work. So the carrot and stick attitude will not work. You need to have this service leadership and service attitude. Okay. So please fill out this and send it if you can. What's the time now? I will complete this module.
3.
It's already 8. Okay, so fine. I will take 15 more minutes and complete this module. Is that okay, Mataji's, Prabhuji's? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
Thank you. So the divine qualities are obey God's laws, which we just saw, at least to follow these 4 regulative principles. And the Yuga Dharma also says that you need to chant the holy name. And chanting the holy name is what we have seen it in the last module, which will give you the eternal happiness, and it will also purify our consciousness. So that is also very important. Following the 4 regulative principles and taking the holy name, chanting regularly every day, that will really Cheto Dharmana Marjanam will happen. So the dust that has accumulated on the mirror, on our consciousness, that will be what will be wiped out, and you can really get the right kind of consciousness. So demoniac people always rebel against the God's laws. We have seen that when you see Ravana, he was a demoniac quality. Why? Because he was always rebellious and he never obeyed the rules and regulations. He was all doing all these 4 things. He never followed 4 regulative principles. If somebody asked, why should I follow these 4 regulative principles? You can definitely quote these 4 regulative principles have been violated by Ravana. Do you wanted to become Ravana and a demoniac person? Because Ravana, you see, intoxication, he was very much into intoxication. Not only he, all his wives, queens, everybody was just drinking intoxicated all the time. And illicit sex was there because he used to get anybody, everybody, and he wants to enjoy. And everything, gambling, and they're so greedy. Wherever he wants, by shortcut, he just wanted to grab everything, right? And what else is the last one? Meat eating. Yes, this is what he has always been doing, right? And if you see a divine person, selfless service to God and others, very important. Now, most of the time, you see that especially children at a very young age, they are always, I've been going to schools these days. They are, then I asked, what is your purpose in your life? You'll be surprised. Everybody was, most of the people, students, saying that we wanted to earn money. We wanted a lot of money. So this is what they are saying. Just imagine what kind of a generation which we are creating. So there is nothing called selfless service in their dictionary. They're always thinking that everything, if I demand, I will get. I can do anything with money. These are their some things that they have engraved on stone. These kind of things, so much deeply rooted, and more training should be going to these children now. Okay, so selfless service and to God and to others is what, and here selfishly concerned about one's own gratification. How I can nakenti in Telugu, this is what is there, nakenti. What is that I am going to get? If I attend these classes also, what am I going to get? So yes, that mentality is good. If you try to change your consciousness, wherein my selfishness should go away, and I should be trying to see how I can selflessly do service to others. If that is what you wanted to inculcate and get as part of these classes, and get the drive to do those things, that is a very good way to take these classes. That is where you can get qualified to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and eventually we will all go to Goloka if our consciousness is purified. And our consciousness is purified means we should be selflessly doing service to the Supreme Lord and to others. I am a self-made man. A lot of people think that nobody has helped me, no gratitude required. I am a self-made man. What are you actually? You call yourself self-made man. So the breathing which you are breathing also, did you get the oxygen from somewhere? Somebody has supplied you. You are thinking that your heart is beating on your own. Is it on your own? So somebody is making that beat also. You don't know. To digest the food, there is a demigod, and Krishna says that I am the digestive fire. So you think that your memory is yours, but Krishna says that I am that who is giving you remembrance and forgetfulness. I am the person. So eventually you should understand that without the Supreme Lord's permission, nothing will happen. The cause of all causes is Krishna, and that is what if you can get and slowly turn yourself to do activities aligning with that thought process, that is where your ultimate good is, and ultimate goal will be. We should be and grateful to God always. Not that I am self-made man, I am created on my own, mera balboote pe main khada hu. All these things is cinema stories, but actually we should always be grateful to God for giving us whatever opportunity, whatever capabilities, whatever opportunities have come in our life. It is all because of the Supreme Lord, not just because of our own endeavor. And the people, demoniac people, have only the mental, just do it. This is what that Nike, is it Nike slogan? Just do it. Eat, drink, and enjoy. So, क्या करना है? Life कल हो ना हो, आज मजे करो. This is what kind of slogans are there. So, being conscious to avoid sin is what a divine person, a divine quality person will do. Not just whatever way you want to live life. That is not what you are like a kripana. You are not utilizing it in the right way. And the example was Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Can somebody tell how Yudhishthira Maharaj and Duryodhana were compared here? Anybody? Anything that comes to your mind?
Both became emperors who ruled Hastinapur, Prabhuji. So Duryodhan was very Duryodhan being a very bad ruler. The whole Raja Praja also were behaving because they were seeing him only as a king, and people emulated. And Yudhishthira had been so kind, and he was caring to all. Even his uncle Dhritarashtra also, he with all his respects, he kept him in his palace and took care of everyone, and even the animals and everybody. So he was a very kind and a very honest king, very dutiful king.
Yeah. Thank
Maybe
you,
that was.
Yes. Now, if you see, Yudhishthira had divine qualities. He even respected Duryodhana. Though he was a very bad guy, but still Yudhishthira never had an ill attitude towards Duryodhana. So most of the time in our life also we'll come across people like Duryodhana. So you need to really not have a hateful attitude towards them. So that is how you can see, that is one of the divine qualities of Yudhishthira. And if you see Krishna also, Krishna never hated Duryodhana. He was like, there are now Shishupala. He very he very patiently has tolerated all these people. At the same time, thought that these people will change and should change. Not that he had a very, and he never, now if you take Rama, Rama, when Ravana was, he died in the battlefield, he cremated him very nicely and did all that. So he could have said, what is this? Rama's Sita was abducted, kidnapped by this demoniac person. And why is he doing all these activities? See, that is what a divine quality person will not have hatred towards anybody. So that is what we should also slowly imbibe those qualities. Not easy, but again, if you can, that is where you are really growing in spiritually. Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj is another example. Durvasa Muni cursed Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj did not have any ill feeling towards Durvasa Muni. And finally, when Durvasa Muni, Krishna has sent the Vishnu Chakra to kill Durvasa Muni, finally he has to come and fall at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj to get his mercy so that he can avoid the Vishnu Chakra cutting his head. Then Ambarish Maharaj never said that, oh, now you came to my feet, this and that. He was very much merciful. He never had ill feeling towards Durvasa Muni, who wanted to kill him and with the Shrapa. Okay, so that is some of the divine qualities we should also cultivate, and this is all going to happen with our steps that we are taking by following 4 regulative principles and chanting the holy name regularly. So please do not underestimate the power of chanting the holy name. Power of chanting the holy name will bring you or give you the impetus, at the same time the determination to avoid these 4 sins in the Kali Yuga. See, in Kali Yuga, you don't have to do lot many austerities. If you can follow these 4 principles, 4 regulative principles perfectly, that itself will really take you to a good position where eventually you can go to Goloka. At the same time, to following 4 regulative principles and doing chanting regularly, at least 16 rounds, if you can come to that level, that is what will really make you qualified, because that is what Srila Prabhupada said. You can come to Goloka very easily when you can follow 4 regulative principles and chant at least 16 rounds. And also it is mentioned that if you follow these 4 regulative principles and do your 16 rounds for at least for 5 to 10 years, then whatever is coming from your mouth, whatever you are speaking, that will be perfect, and you will be the qualified person to speak on any subject matter, and that will become like aligned with the what is there in the Shastra, because that is what is very important. Okay, is God some impersonal light energy? A lot of people say that. Who is God? He is light. Is that correct? Or he is a person? What do you think? Anybody? So we'll end very soon. Couple of more minutes and couple of more slides. Yeah. Sorry, I'm taking time. Yeah, anybody? Is Supreme Lord or is God some impersonal light energy, or is he a person?
Bhagwan Prabhuji.
Yes,
He is a person.
God
He is
will take an
person.
avatar.
His
as a
energy is
person.
also. He is only. His energy also. That Brahma Jyoti is also Krishna's only.
okay. So we'll. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, Ramakrishna Prabhu, you are saying something. Please raise your hands. So multiple people were speaking. I couldn't follow. Yeah, that will be nice. Okay, Ramakrishna Prabhu, you are saying something. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of misconceptions we have about whether the Supreme Lord is light energy or is he a person. Yeah, what Mataji also mentioned, Preeti Mataji is correct. Behind every energy, there is energetic. So energy doesn't come on its own. There must be energetic person behind it. Suppose I take a stone and I throw it, and the glass panel which is on the other side has broken. That means, did this stone do that job? Yes, it did that job, but there is a person who has given that energy to that. So similarly, if you see this entire universe, if there's a lot of, we also know that planets are revolving, Earth is rotating on its own, all these things. But who is rotating? That we need to understand. There is a person behind the energy. So that energetic person is what we should always consider, and that means behind Shakti there is a Shaktiman, and God is energetic, not just energy. God is energetic. The energy, if it is coming, that means there is a person behind it that is energetic. So if there is a company called Microsoft, there is a person behind it who is running and managing it. That's but very natural, right? So similarly, country, there is a person behind it. And who is the person behind the gigantic manifestation, having perfect organization and control? So that is what. Aham sarvasva prabho mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samvitaha. So if you see here, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Krishna is saying that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So if you are an intelligent person, Buddha means an intelligent person does this. And what he understands, the source of all spiritual and material worlds is Krishna only, no other thing. So if you have that mindset and you cultivated that mindset and you have that consciousness, that means you are progressing in your spiritual path. So that is, and progressing also means that you are getting these divine qualities. So here again, Krishna is saying that the supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by sun, moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So Krishna is assuring you that once you have this kind of consciousness and you have become a person with that kind of an intelligence or Buddha, then you will be eligible to come to my abode and you will never return back. So in the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna's lamentation, you have seen that. So he was saying, my Gandiva is slipping from my hand. I'm unable to stand any longer. My mind is reeling. So all these are the symptoms of a person who is very depressed, and he is not able to do his job properly. And some of you might also have experienced it. In some occasions, we also become like that. So how do we come out of it? Arjuna came out of it, and we should also come out of it. But again, what is something that Arjuna could do is that you see that where he mentions Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prichamyatvam dharma sammuda cheta yashreyasya nistitam brumitanme shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Where Arjuna said, accepted that now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of this weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So if we also surrender ourselves and have the determination that yes, whatever Krishna is saying, I will follow, then only the mercy and then only Krishna will start becoming, or he will be start instructing you, inspiring you, and you will be able to progress in your life. So unless until we cultivate the quality what Arjuna cultivated, accept first that you are in this Kali Yuga and this is Dukhalayam Ashashvita. Most of the time people are not ready to accept. Most of the time people are saying that what they are saying, what you people are saying, is this Dukhalayam? No, it is not Dukhalayam. A lot of things to enjoy here, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. So why you are saying that this is Dukhalayam? And why are you saying this is Ashashvatam? I will get eternal peace here only by doing all these activities, by doing illicit this kind of a thing, eating this, doing that. So first of all, accepting that what Arjuna has accepted, that we are all confused, we need a proper guidance. That is a firm thing that we need to understand, and for a determination to follow whatever Krishna is telling us is very important. Then we can, disciple means discipline, and that discipline is based on the rules and regulations that we need to follow. And Krishna is saying that do this, take up to the chanting process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us. Arjuna was a friend and a devotee of the Lord Sri Krishna, and he realized that Lord Sri Krishna is his only shelter. Arjuna prayed to be guided by him. Krishna, being the Supreme Lord, is the supreme well-wisher of his devotees. By aligning with Krishna's guidance, Arjuna achieved victory and happiness. So if you wanted eternal happiness, you need to align with Krishna's guidance. Very, very important. Arjuna achieved victory and guidance and happiness. So Lord Krishna told Arjuna to surrender unto him only, not to any Tom, Dick and Harry. By doing so, one can become free from all sufferings, ultimately attain the spiritual world. You can go there. So, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, so there you will get everything. So, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanur Dharaha, Tatra Shriyar Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Sanjaya said, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mistakes, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion. So this is also what we should take it, that we should follow the instructions what given by our Supreme Father, Lord Shri Krishna, and taking to this process will really help us to attain the eternal peace, happiness. That is all what we are looking for in our engagement. With that, we will end today. If anybody has any questions, we can discuss. And just to summarize what we have discussed today, we have discussed that what is our eternal position, and our eternal position is that we are supposed to be serving the Supreme Lord, not that we are receiving service, but we need to render service to the Supreme Lord. We are das, and there is a boss whom we are serving. So that we should not forget, and we should always try to follow the instructions given by the Supreme Lord. And some of the instructions which are given by the Supreme Lord is that we should follow the 4 regulative principles, and also take to this holy name, the chanting, which will really give us the drive and impetus to follow the right thing in our life. Most of the time we know that what is right, what is wrong, but we do not have the courage, determination to follow the right thing. So when you take up to this and follow the instructions given by the Supreme Lord with determination and in the association of the devotees, we can really achieve, which is not easy, but we can achieve it by practice. and attain the eternal happiness that we are all looking for. With that, we will end. If any questions are there, we'll take it up. Anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, yesterday I was listening to Chakravarti Das Prabhuji. He was saying that when once Indra invited Arjuna to his Loka, so one day while Apsaras were dancing, Arjun did not attended that. So one day what happened was
Yeah, you are muted, Prabhuji. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
So while Arjuna respected those Apsaras as their mothers, so one of the Apsaras, Urvashi, got angry and she cursed Arjuna that he would become Napunsak for a year, and indirectly Arjuna served Krishna as Brihanalla. So I wanted to know who is Brihanalla.
No, Brihanala, see, you know that they were supposed to be in exile for how many years? Exile for how many years?
1 year, he said.
No, not 1 year. 1 year Ajnatavas.
1 year Ajnatavas, 13 years.
13 years.
13 years. 13 years they were supposed to go in Aranyavas or wherever. And 1 year of Ajnatavas. This is the bet. And if you in that 1 year of Ajnatavas, if you know that who is this person, this Pandavas, if somebody identifies, then again they have to go for 13 years Vanvas and 1 year Ajnatavas. This was the plan. But again, in that everybody has taken certain role wherein to be in incognito mode. Incognito mode means you should not get identified. So Arjuna has got that curse from Urvashi. So that was used, and he became Brihanala, and he was teaching the dance to the Virata king's daughter, Uttara. I am not very familiar with Mahabharata.
Yes, Uttara.
So, and Uttara also became his, what do you say, his son's wife, like his Bahu, his daughter-in-law. He married. We know that who married. Abhimanyu married, right? Uttara? Okay. So that is the little history, Prabhu. And why did you ask? I am not sure. Why this question was asked?
Hey, Prabhuji, I'm daily listening to his Bhagavad Gita shloks with the translation and that Chakravarti Das Prabhuji.
What is the ulterior motto in asking this? What is your real interest?
I had a doubt, Prabhuji, in my mind.
Okay. Yeah, fine. I was thinking that you are asking because is Arjuna's quality, because if opportunity has come in, you see, Indraloka, in that Loka, illicit sex, having a relationship with is not such a wrong thing. Arjuna should have indulged in it. But he knew that in one way, Indra and this Urvasi and these people have got a relationship. Indra was his father. In that sense, if you see, he was Kunti has got what a boon. She can ask any demigod, and through him she can beget a children. So that was the one of the boon she has got. So indirect, if you see, Arjuna was son of Indra in one way, right? And so Indra has got some relationship with her. So she becomes his mother. So that also one should understand that he never accepted, and he said that you are like my mother, and she got offended because in that loka apsaras are not treated in that way. Sometimes I remember I was going for book distribution, and I usually speak when I speak I just say Mataji. That lady got so offended. She said, "How dare you call me Mataji?" She was thinking that Mataji means an elder, her age is very old, and she was kind of because people are used to say Bahanji is okay, but in ISKCON we say Mataji. So that like that sometimes people get offended. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji, for asking that question. Anybody else has got any question? If not, we'll end now. Okay.
Yes, sir. Addressing Mataji is the best way. Even in Telugu, we call Amma whenever we are addressing the others. But now people, if they don't understand the real meaning of Amma, even that is the best way to address. Even in a school, we say pledge. We say all Indians are my brothers and sisters. Instead of that, we should say they are our mothers. So even in wife also, we should see as a mother other than the, for reproduction purpose.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, yeah, but point what we are saying is that it's not at a material platform we should always think, but the underneath principle we should follow is that we are respecting all the entities. That is what you see, that Yudhishthir had that quality, divine quality of seeing everybody, including animals. They see with that bhav. A asura will think that this animal is for my my enjoyment. Let me kill and eat it. This particular thing could be a woman or a man or whatever. It is for my enjoyment. When your mindset has changed from your enjoyment to how I can serve others, how I can serve the Supreme Lord. So that mentality should come. Just treating at a surface level that everybody, every Indian is my brothers and sisters or mothers will not really change or bring real transformation. The real transformation will come when you have the underneath principle that I should serve them. So when you serving attitude comes, automatically you will have the right kind of a mindset to treat them accordingly. If I just say that she is my mother, then what good? And similarly, your wife and husband relationship, it's not mother or Mataji or wife. The point is that, am I serving my wife? Am I serving my husband? That is more important. So in most of the cases, why people are getting divorced, why divorce is happening, because the Western society is the way that they think. This particular man, this boy or a girl, they come into a relationship because they have some desire, and that desire is sense satisfaction or sense pleasure. Uses till the time you gratify my senses, I'm okay with you. If you don't, then I get separated. But our Indian marriage system, there is nothing called divorce at all. If you see in our Vedic literature, there is not a single instance when a wife got divorced from a husband, or a husband has divorced a wife. That you cannot find it in our literature. There is no word called divorce in our Nyaya Shastra also. You take any Nyaya Shastra, there is no something. They say that marriages are made in heaven. So that is what our culture is. And we should always have the attitude of how I can serve others. That could be a husband or a wife or a children or a father. This is our underneath principle. If you don't follow or deny this principle, everything will be going for a toss. Now children are saying that you bigot, you produced us, it is your responsibility to take care of us, give us money, give us this, give us that. It is a demand, and it is becoming like that. So when you have service attitude in the relationship, then that is where you will really get benefit out of all the being in the family, in the society, etc. Okay, I've gone out of my way. Yeah, thank you, Ramesh.
Dhanyavad, Prabhu.
Prabhu, thank you very much.
Dhanyavad.
Yeah, if no other doubt question, we'll end now. Okay. Any other question anybody has? No? Okay. We'll quickly do one kirtan and then we will end. Okay. Nutan Mataji, you wanted to do kirtan?
I am not good at it, but I'll just recite, keeping my phone on mute.
You should practice next time, Mataji. Whatever tune you want, whatever tune you get inspired with, one chanting like one tune. Okay. Today I'll do the short kirtan, but next time you all should practice. Each one of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.